The year 1903. The place, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The bike, the world-renowned Harley-Davidson. You might think Harley was built by two men. Well, you would be partly right. It was built by Harley and three Davidsons. These motorcycles are not known for being light. They're not known for being inexpensive. And they're not even known for being fast. What they are known for is for having a soul right out of the box. Very likely the only motorcycle in the world whose owners claim it has a soul. And that is the story I am pursuing today on this video on Bronx Brothers Motorcycles. Hey, good morning, people. Here we are in it says Northbrook there. I guess it's north of Chicago. We're about 1 hour from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We are packing up, getting ready to head out to the museum. Today is day number 3, the start of day number 3. There's a nice cool breeze. I wouldn't say it's, it still feels like summer. It's warm. If you're moving around, you're gonna sweat a little bit, but nevertheless, the breeze is, as you can see by looking at the flags, there's a good breeze. I mean, nice temperature. So we're gonna be heading out to the museum, and anyway, that's where we're headed. So let's go for a ride. Doing a little gas stop here. Not sure how far we are from Wisconsin, but I was on EE at 4.57 gallons. This is a 5-gallon tank. So I had about half a gallon. I was getting nervous because it's riding on the E. So I'm sure we've all been through it. And when you don't know what's around, kind of scary. Proceed on to the museum. You gotta give a little love to the Goldwing, you know what I mean?
Fabulous. Fabulous. Motorbike.
Oh, you like it?
Yes.
Okay.
My bike is bagger.
Okay.
Bagger.
You said fabulous. Is that Portuguese or is that
French.
French?
From where?
Marseille.
From France?
France, Marseille.
Yeah? Nice, brother. Welcome to America. Nice. Parlez-vous espagnol?
No.
No, me.
No.
Us. Okay.
What year is that?
France?
Bagger. 2019.
Ella tiene una Goldwing. Ella tiene una Goldwing.
Oh, nice.
2019.
Yeah. I like Goldwing too.
Sure.
Well, Harley more money in your country, right?
Garage.
No parlez-vous français, no parlez-vous English, no parlez-vous nothing. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
We are here with people from France. Where in France are you from?
Marseille.
Marseille, France.
Yes.
How long are you here?
Hein?
How long are you here?
20 jours. 10.
20 days.
Yes.
20 days. 20. You speak Spanish a little bit?
Spanish, no,
Español.
italiano.
Italiano.
Italiano, Spanish, español, italiano. Casi.
It's the same.
Yeah. So how you like it here so far?
Hey, it's beautiful.
Yeah?
Yes.
First time in the United States?
On va à Sturgis, Denver,
Oh, okay.
New York.
Oh, nice. I'm from New York originally.
Ah,
Yeah. So you're riding?
jusqu'à à Denver, et the plane fly for New York.
Oh, okay. Nice. How many people?
12.
12. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Is the motor.
Okay. So you went to Sturgis already, or you going?
Non, on y va. I am going.
Going to Sturgis.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Frédéric.
Frederica. I'm Richie.
Richie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ricardo.
Ricardo. Good.
Good talking to you. Thank you. This was packed 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. July 20, the weekend of July 20th. So the French had approximately, I want to say about, I don't know, 9 or 10 road glides. It was the satin black, flat black road glides that they rented. I don't know where exactly. According to what the lady was saying, their travels are somewhere between Colorado, Sturgis, Milwaukee, and New York City. Exactly where, I couldn't tell you, but I know that they mentioned all of those places. So they rented motorcycles. They were here for 20 days, and they were going to ride all those areas that I just mentioned. Wow, that looks nice. The new CVO, the talk of the town. handlebar, the little funky setup. She feels smaller.
It looks smaller too.
Yeah, the tank, look at it, got some nice lines.
And the saddlebag. See the saddlebag and the
Yeah.
side?
You got vent here. Este es el que. There it is. Excuse me. ¿Cuál cogió Julio?
Thank you.
You gonna steal the bike?
No, don't do that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, you take us to your phone station. We already have. Walk you back and try the rest of the museum this afternoon.
Two phone Harry and a camera. A lot of this stuff is going to be self-explanatory. It looks like a bicycle, right? Big sprocket to do wheelies. Water. That's near Virginia Beach. Well, that is the Virginia Beach area for Tidewater. Crazy. Okay, so let me explain a little bit to you all what exactly is at the museum, from the buildings outside to the museum itself, how the museum is laid out, because as you can imagine it would take me a few hours to show you guys everything. So first of all, outside, the main building where the museum is located, that is the museum, that is it. That is basically where we parked in front of, and it houses all the historical motorcycles and everything that's inside the museum. You go into the museum, you pay, I think it was $20, which isn't terrible, and then you are free to walk. You start on the second floor and you see all the vintage bikes. To your right is a history of Harley-Davidson, and that's kind of what we're looking at now. It shows you everything that Harley-Davidson has been involved in, from police to the military to post office,
you name it, whatever Harley-Davidson was involved in is going to be on this side of the museum. It's pretty much what you're looking at now. And it's also kind of the beginning of Harley-Davidson. And I think, I'm not sure if you know, but Harley-Davidson is still around because it won the government contracts, whereas Indian did not. Harley-Davidson won the military as well as the police contracts in this country, and that's what kept it alive. There were a lot of other motorcycle companies that went to the wayside because of that. I mean, they just when Henry Ford came out with the Model T, it was, I believe, just a little bit more expensive than a motorcycle, just a little bit more expensive. So it made sense to buy a car and not a motorcycle. So that put a lot of people out of business, a lot of companies out of business. So at that point, the motorcycle became more of a leisure item, of a weekend item. Yes, the police, the mailman, it was still used for work and all, but it was more of a leisure item. And so now in the center, when you first walk in, is a lineup of motorcycles, and that's where I started. And it's from the very early motorcycles to, I wouldn't say the present, but to earlier and not earlier, later and later models. Okay, so up to about, I'd say, the 50s and maybe even early 60s. That's about where it ends. Okay, so again, you walk in and the first thing you see is a lineup of vintage motorcycles from 1907 all the way to about the 1960s. Okay, on the right is what we talked about, is the history of Harley-Davidson and everything that it was involved in. Now on the left-hand side there's a large room with all of the engines that Harley-Davidson has produced. From the first one to the last. It has the Milwaukee 8 in that room. It has the twin cam. It has the Evolution. It has the shovel head. It has the pan head. It has the knuckle head, and so on, and keep going backwards. That's as far as my history takes me. So that is one room. You go into another room, and it kind of talks about the chopper, and I believe Evel Knievel's in there, and more modern day life of Harley from probably the 70s to present. Okay, and then there's this cool room at the end before you start to walk downstairs, where it has a very large, I want to say there's over 100 gas tanks there on a wall, and in that room is really where you see where the Harley-Davidson designers had very, very, very good taste. You can see the color combinations they produced. You can see the different designs they put on these tanks. And if you really think about it, this is almost the same tank for the longest time. And they have recreated the designs over and over again. So, men with style, back in those days, I want to say that it was mostly men, and these men, they had style. They knew what color combinations, they knew pinstripes, and it's classy stuff. So I'm really impressed. You got these guys that know all about mechanics and stuff, and then you got the designers that really can put a paint on and make that thing look gorgeous. So then downstairs is just a potpourri of different Harley-Davidsons, from choppers to race bikes to dirt racing bikes to a lineup of very many important Harley-Davidsons throughout the years. There may be a Elvis Presley down there. It's just a bunch of different Harley-Davidson motorcycles, and it tells you the story of each of them. I didn't spend as much time in that room as I did upstairs looking at the vintage stuff. And then from there, it shows some new bikes. It shows the brand new CVO. It shows the Road Glide, and it also shows the Pan America, the new Sportster, and you're allowed to sit on them and mess with the buttons and everything. They are well mounted to the ground. There's no chance that you're going to drop them, so they're not on the side stand. They have them on a wheel chock. The bikes are very stable, and that is it. Now, outside of the building, directly across the street, that building houses two things. To the left is a restaurant, indoor, outdoor, and you saw that in the, I went in there with the camera and I showed you. It's a very nice restaurant. It has some vintage Harley-Davidsons in there. You can sit outside and look at the river. There's a nice river that runs right next to the restaurant. The day we went wasn't too hot. If you're sitting in the shade, there was a nice breeze. Okay, in that same building to the right, there is what I'll call a gift shop or a merch shop. You can buy t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, cups, blah blah blah. So that is the second building. There's a third building which is on the same side of the museum, but if you are facing the museum to the left across the street, and that is where they sell most of their merch. There they have everything that you would think Harley-Davidson merchandise, and they have the museum stuff, and they have the vintage stuff, which is very pricey, but very cool looking nonetheless. And that is basically what the museum site is. The last thing that I'm going to mention is, and you're going to see it here, I'm going to show it to you, is the first shed, I guess I'll call it, where they built the first Harley-Davidson motorcycle. It's a little Harley-Davidson shed, and I parked in front of there and took a few pictures. So that is the Harley-Davidson museum facility, if you will. Very nice. You can pull up and park right in front. Very welcoming. Everybody that works for Harley-Davidson is super nice. Everybody that I met, visitors, tourists, everybody is kind of like on in a happy mood at this place. There's nobody with a sad face at this place. I mean, you're surrounded by these, very old, at this point, century-old motorcycles, and very beautiful motorcycles, and the motorcycles that the people bring there as well. So it's very nice. I met people at this museum that were not, that didn't ride motorcycles. They just know about the Harley-Davidson. I met this family from Nebraska. The dad was a farmer, never rode a motorcycle in his life, but he said that he knew that Harley-Davidson was the best motorcycle, and it was an American-made motorcycle, and to him that meant that he was proud of the Harley-Davidson name, even though he didn't ride a motorcycle himself. His daughter brought him because she lives in Milwaukee, and she brought him out kind of as a gift to the museum, and he was enjoying himself. We also met the people from France, and I met a lady from Ecuador whose daughter lives, I believe, in Chicago. But the lady, her dad, who's no longer with us, rode a motorcycle in Ecuador, and she says, to my dad, Harley-Davidson was the pinnacle, the top, the best motorcycle in the world, something that he could not afford, but something that he admired his whole life. And that is pretty much the museum. So, and I think you can see there's people around that they don't look like bikers as I'm walking through. So, that is the museum.
saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone. Looked at my phone like every other second. My future was blurry and numb, a tunnel where there's no light. Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took it, you took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together, together, together it's always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted.
Valva.
We jumped off the subway leading nowhere. Your warm hands rubbed off the cold around me. I heard you say that everything is alright, but how did you know how I felt?
walking into,
You saw right through me that day. I was lost in space, but you pulled me down and wiped away those cloudy thoughts. I could see the sky when you were close to me. I can't believe what you brought. You took it, you took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together, together, together it's always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted. I will always remember it. How you turned everything around. I saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone. Looked at my phone like every other second. My future was blurry and numb, a tunnel where there's no light. Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took it, you took it, took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together, together, together it's always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted. We jumped off the subway leading nowhere.
Very good
Warm
stuff.
hands rubbed off the cold
Smoky,
around.
sweet and spicy sauce with a root beer. Never seen that root beer.
Well, my people, we have come to the end of the video, and the question remains: do you believe that a motorcycle can have a soul? Well, here's my take on it. If food can have soul, music can have soul, dance can have soul, I don't see why a motorcycle can't have soul. Now, I will say that if you've never ridden a Harley-Davidson, this is the right time for you. In the month of September, Harley-Davidson will be offering worldwide test rides. So, you don't even need to be in the market for buying a new motorcycle. I say go in there, test ride a bike of your liking, and then report back. Now, if you do have a Harley-Davidson, I expect you to write in the comments whether you think your bike has a soul or not. Alright? Now, one last thing I want to mention is, a lot of you watch my videos but you don't subscribe. You know, it really helps the channel if you subscribe. So please do so. Also, give it a like. That helps me out a lot. Anyhow, I have more videos to come with a lot more content. We got a few museums to go to. We got some nice cities yet to visit. Really, this trip is just starting. So, you all take care. Watch out with the crazy people on the roads. And I will catch you on the next one. Adios.